we know that this change, might be a little polarizing for some people.
I will be your shield.
Oh, no!
Oh my, what is this, 2018?
Rally to me.
This literally shores up the last weakness of Brig.
So, initial reactions to Brig's ult, mine included, were that it would make her super OP and ruin the game. After playing with it for these last couple days, Blizzard...
What the f*** are you doing?
Hi, my name's Max. I'm a casual player, playing every now and then. Haven't really played since 2018. Got to Diamond last season with not too many games one-tricking Brig. I'd like to give some perspective to how the new ult goes against Brig's current playstyle, and give some possible suggestions to how to change her ult. Brig is a defensive support. She may be a melee hero, but as Brig you should be standing back, playing corners, and denying space from divers and the enemy team's advances. You will get destroyed most of the time frontlining. So get the most value for your team playing from a good distance, surveying the flow of the fight, and surviving. There is a lot of macro play you can do with her, so don't think a Brig on the high ground or in the back isn't contributing. Her new ult has become counterintuitive to how you should play Brig, and has lessened its value in a lot of real game situations than those on paper. Seriously Blizzard, it comes off that you don't play Brig at all with this rework. Just because her bash does damage, and in the past it's stunned, does not mean it is only an offensive tool. Most of the time, I hold onto my bash to either back up or escape. I only use shield bash offensively if I can guarantee a kill, or I can poke and not get punished. This offensive-defensive argument can also be made for her ult's movement speed. Just because I can chase down squishies or low health enemies does not mean I don't use it to back away and get space. That being said, her new shield does offer some new defensive and offensive options. Blocking for a team in the multi-stun are cool, but those benefits are unnecessary and net negatives with the loss of her mobility and self-sustain. Yes, you can now block off ults like a mini Rhine, but that requires a couple things. First, your team needs to be clumped up, more so than a Rhine shield. In Overwatch 1, teams played more grouped up, but with the loss of one tank and the faster paced play of Overwatch 2, teams are playing much more spread out. Second, for me to block incoming threats for my team, that requires me to be in front of everyone, something I instinctually tell myself not to do. The new shield is also very clunky. It makes it a lot harder to use her bash as an escape tool. You can very easily hit enemies and cancel your bash on openings between enemies that your normal bash would have no problem getting you out of. Sure, you can stun someone and whipshot them away, but if I'm trying to create space, it is much more effective to bash away. Close range tanks roll over Brig, so creating that space and playing defensively over offensively is more important. She now has extra armor instead of overhealth, but at the cost of self-regen, which I think enabled her more in both defensive and offensive scenarios without being as oppressive to squishies as a giant 750 shield that can stun. Some people talk about breaking points on heroes with their health pools and damage output, and I don't think Blizzard really took that into consideration with the armor overhealth change. She was already strong in 1v1 scenarios with her ultimate, and now she's even stronger at the cost of her survivability against tanks in more teamfight scenarios. She's also easier to kill now with the non-regenerative armor. This may be due to a bug where her stacking armor is not counting as armor, so she basically now has non-regenerative overhealth. But in scenarios where I would pop ult to escape, I'm just SOL now with the reduced speed and no self-sustain. I'm also less inclined to preemptively pop ult before a fight, because I will not get any value out of it for myself, only to give my team overhealth. And to Alec Dawson saying you can counter a Reaper ult with the stun.
If you have the sense where Reaper's going to come down, you can maybe pop this right before, stun the Reaper right before he ults or in his ult, and sort of make some of those types of plays.
I can't even stun right away until the rally animation is finished. If the Reaper gets the jump on my team, people are going to die anyway. I just think it's not needed counterplay. If I can react, I think it's effective to whipshot the Reaper away to lower his lethality, or bash away to avoid his incoming damage. TLDR, new ult provides unnecessary counter and reactive play at the cost of self-sustain. As far as what I think her ult could be, first I think Blizzard should revert Brig back to Season 3. Give her back her normal size shield, her regenerative overhealth, and her movement speed. I've definitely felt the impact from the repair pack range also. If we have to give her a bigger or stronger shield, have her shield overcharge. Her shield glows brighter and pulses with more energy from her overclocking it rather than just increasing its size. Her shield gets stronger this way, going up to, let's say, 500 health. That would be a simple buff and maybe a visual update. If we want to give her the power to protect her team better with a bigger shield, then another effect of the overcharged shield is that the extra energy created is dispersed from the sides, creating sort of extended panels that block or reduce damage. But they do not count towards letting her bash multiple targets. She can still only bash one target, and the collision is based on the normal size shield. That way she can have her bash as an escape tool, and there is no clunkiness to it. If we don't want to touch the shield, maybe we can play with how she provides overhealth to her allies. Maybe allies gain larger ticks of overhealth the closer they stand near her. Maybe instead they take initial reduced damage, or a little instant overhealth when she rallies, so her teammates can build that overhealth easier, or allies can take reduced damage the closer they stand near her. Also, if we really want to bring her stun back during ult, why not put it on her whip shot instead of her shield bash? That way it's a skill shot knockdown or stun similar to Sigma's rock. Some people in the forums like this idea. The devs could also look at the WoW Paladin or Diablo 3 Crusader. Blizzard is known for taking other people's ideas. Maybe instead of rally she throws down a consecration aura that heals up allies and damages enemies that stand in it. Maybe they did try some of these ideas, but I'm just very curious what their process was. In Season 2, they did say they were working on new VFX and art assets. So for the new ult to come out and all it is... I don't think I'm the only one that was underwhelmed by this.
How did you come up with the increase in the shield size?
It's actually a change the team's been playing around with for a while. It's a change that the team's been keeping in the back of their mind, something that we knew we wanted to look at. It didn't get into the initial Overwatch 2 changes. We didn't have necessarily the exact design we wanted at that point in time. But we tried a number of things, and the shield getting bigger was one of those things we've been trying.
Oh, well, shit. Brig is a strong support in the right hands. Her playstyle is not mechanically intensive, but you need good game sense and positioning to really get value out of her. The developers did say she had a 55% win rate, but they didn't mention her pick rate. I'm not sure how accurate this is, but if you look online, Brig has the lowest pick rate out of all supports on some sites. Maybe she has a high win rate because of specialists or one tricks. Her playstyle also isn't the most popular, being a melee character in a hero shooter that also has to be in the backline. But she is fun for some players like myself. With the ult changes, she has become clunky and counterintuitive to the playstyle we're all used to. I know there's still some stigma and trauma towards her because of her release in Overwatch 1. I would know, I played during the release. I even made some dumb videos playing with her with friends. But she is in a much better place now. A lot of heroes are. The game is in a much better place. So Blizzard, if you can go back to the drawing board on a rework that reinforces the playstyle Brig players actually use, I think it would put more of the community's trust in you guys reworking heroes. You're kind of 0 for 2 on reworks with Mercy and now Brig. Not sure if I'd count the Roadhog changes as a rework, more of a rebalance maybe. I think Brig will get more playtime in the lower ranks because of the rework, rewarding aggressive and frontline play that's not going to get punished as much. But at the high end of play, I feel like she's going to see a reduction in her pick rate. We'll just have to wait and see as the season plays out and people calm down with their initial reactions.
Oh my god!
I'm already seeing some Overwatch content creators calling the Brig changes a nerf, so hopefully the developers do some positive changes for her. If you got to the end of this video, thanks for watching my rant. I just wanted to put some of my thoughts on the rework in a form that others could see, and maybe even the devs could. If you liked the video, leave a like. Leave your thoughts on the Brig changes or some of my suggestions down in the comment section below. If you want to support me, you can follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/onlymaxgaming. I'm trying to actively stream more nowadays. I also have a dumb little free mobile game on the Google Play Store for Android users if you want to check it out. It's basically a Minesweeper on a hexagonal grid. But yeah, that's my little rant, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks again.